so that we can present our agreement to the court and have them sign off on it. So that's where we stand with Angelus Abbey. As it relates to Woodlawn, if anybody's been paying attention, I think they've seen there's been a lot of buzz and attention being given to Woodlawn lately. There's a group, well, backing up a little bit, we had a council meeting where Assemblymember Gibson came and joined us and talked about how he would join our efforts in trying to find a resolution for Woodlawn, given that they are no longer regulated by the state and that the licenses have been surrendered to the state. And so we're still working with the state departments, the Department of Consumer Affairs, the Cemetery and Funeral Bureau, as well as Assemblymember Gibson's office, as it appears that really what it's going to take to resolve those issues are legislative fixes. Because the system of laws as it relates to cemeteries is very antiquated and does not account for unregulated and unlicensed cemeteries. So we're going to continue to work with those offices to try to figure out a solution. In the meantime, as has been the case with other cemeteries that have become unlicensed and fallen into disrepair, it has taken the work of community groups and nonprofits to use volunteer efforts to try to upkeep the property. While not formally affiliated with the city, there is a group that calls themselves One Section at a Time, which is a group of volunteers, community members, people who have loved ones buried at Woodlawn, who have come together utilizing their own money, their own time, have worked out an agreement apparently with the owner to be allowed on the property to do a lot of abatement, and they've done a miraculous work over there at the cemetery. I've been down there, volunteered, and did some time working to help clear some of the weeds and uncover some of the burial markers. I know Councilperson McCoy has volunteered resources to this group to try to help them with some of the trash removal. They've been featured several times on local news stations, and in fact, I've got an email in my inbox now from the LA Times asking just for some background information on the cemetery. So, and then every week that you go out there, you can see upwards of 200 people who are coming in from Beverly Hills and the Palisades, who really are committed to seeing this cemetery be restored to the dignity that it deserves. And so I'm really encouraged and excited with that groundswell of momentum from community members. Certainly whatever support that I can give, and I'm sure the council feels the same way, any resources that the city is able to provide to these volunteer efforts, we certainly want to be able to do that. And so we'll continue to support them best that we can. There is a section on the city website that has the contact information for One Section at a Time. If people do want to volunteer or make arrangements to visit loved ones, now they are open. They're opening the property from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. They only take 2 days off a week. And again, they're not formally affiliated with the city, so this is, not anything that the city, as I stated before, unfortunately, we don't have any jurisdiction over the property. But again, we are happy to support the efforts of those volunteers who do take the time to go out there. So that's the latest that I have to report on Woodlawn. So if anyone has any questions or comments about either of those properties, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney, for your presentation and update. And I would recommend that we just extract your update and share under some frequently asked questions, because there's so many questions regarding this situation, and people need as much clarity as possible. And I'm really happy to hear as much support that these individuals have. And I know that you have been out to support, as well as Councilwoman McCoy. So definitely a community-led effort, which is essential to addressing issues like this. So just much respect to all of the community members that are extending their time, efforts, and love to restore this cemetery to its former glory.
I'm sorry, there's one more point I just wanted to make, and this is on the website under the press release that was issued. If any individual has purchased for like a pre-needs package with Woodlawn, and obviously that is no longer a viable option, there's a phone number and an email address that's posted on our website for the Cemetery and Funeral Bureau for you to contact them. They will, when you provide proof of your purchase of those pre-needs packages, they will make the arrangements to have those funds transferred to a cemetery of your choosing. You just have to designate where you would like those pre-needs services transferred, and they will take care of the financial reimbursement to make sure that the new cemetery receives the funds that you paid to Woodlawn to have your loved ones buried at the new location.
Wonderful. That's great information as well. Thank you, Mr. City
Yes.
Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. Job well done. I have been going back and forth to the cemetery, and the young lady that took this on, she has such a passion for what she's doing. She started the nonprofit, just to take care of this, and she said she'd be happy to move on to the next one because she believes, just like you said, Mr. City Attorney, that the people who are buried there and their family members deserve to have someone that cares and that peace that you want when you bury your loved ones. So I just want to thank you for continuing to work on this project because it is really, really heart-wrenching when people are, and what got my attention is on Mother's Day, she actually hopped the fence over there to go and visit her mother, and that was just heartbreaking. So thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilwoman McCoy, as well, for your leadership on this. Madam City Clerk?
We're now at new business. Item number 12 is a resolution of the City Council of the City of